Hi, everybody. Here's another podcast from Raised by Wolves, Trapped by Demons with myself, Mimi Tallow, and with Tashina Trudell. And
Hello.
hi, and the topic's going to basically be reality meets fantasy, or fantasy meets reality, because I wrote a memoir, which is nonfiction, and I am publishing a second book, which is semi-fictional historical. And I don't write fiction. I usually base my stuff on research or my own life. I don't think I could write a novel. That's not it. That's not me. Now, my friend here, Tashina, she writes a lot of fantasy. Am I correct?
Yes.
Would you say?
I actually have done quite a few genres. Right now I'm working on a paranormal romance series.
My gosh. Yeah. That sounds interesting. What's it? Do you know
Yeah.
what it's going to be called?
The series called Heart of the Moon series. And I actually have the first book right here.
Oh, cool.
This is the first book. The
Yeah.
second book will be released sometime in January.
Yeah, I'm trying to release my second book December. Do you think I'm prepared with a book now?
Yeah.
But you just go to my Facebook page is the name of the book. It's Raised by Wolves, Trapped by Demons, and you'll get to the Facebook page and it'll give you all the information you need and pictures also about the next book that's coming up, which is called Unearthing My Irish Roots, which I think I told you already that my father was adopted, right? And
Yes.
that after he died, I did DNA. And he was led to believe that he was 75% Italian, that his mother, who gave him up for adoption, was Irish. And he hated the Irish, hated the Irish.
Mm.
So when I got the DNA, it said my father was 100% Irish.
That's so crazy.
Isn't it?
For anyone to be 100% anything. And yeah.
He's 100%. Even myself, like, it says I'm 50% Irish, definitely because of him. But on my mother's side, it has like a little Greek, a little this, a little that, mostly Italian. I went on the other day and the figures had changed a little bit because someone else did their DNA. And when someone else does
Yeah.
their DNA, now you find out, oh, I got a little Turkish blood in
Yep.
But my parents raised us in an Italian family. I was growing up as an Italian, total
Yeah.
traditions, everything. And my father, I'm glad he's not alive. I don't know how he'd take it.
Right.
Right.
Yes, because that's a
So,
very, very big difference.
oh, that's a big deal. First of all, you find out the parent lied. That's a big trauma. And then, yeah. So, Tashina, how many books do you have written, not published, written?
I have 10 written and published.
And
Anything
published.
that's partially written is still partial, not finished.
Gotcha. And are they all published on Amazon or somewhere else?
They're all on Amazon. I pulled back some of my books, so they are not available at the moment. And I'm going to go back and extend them and make them longer,
Yes.
just like I did with my Heart of the Moon series.
Yes.
That's why I'm able to get those out a little bit quicker, is because I have 3 books of those fully written. They just need to, they're going to have more things in there about the
Yeah.
characters, more extended.
Yeah. I
But
want to do
overall,
that. So.
yeah, overall, I've done a total of 10 books.
Right. And my friend Carol, who is not here right now, she edited my second book for me, which was a godsend because she found things I missed. You're looking for a typo or whatever, but she would say to me, this is the second book now, this doesn't flow because you're talking about this one family and then you say he, and I don't know who you mean.
Yep.
So that really helps to have an outside reader than you.
Yes, I've noticed while writing and editing myself, going through it 2, 3, 4 times, you still find things where you're like, oh, maybe I didn't mean to say it this way, or
Yes.
oh, I left this part of this information out, or
Yes.
the reader's not going to understand that part.
No, but she picked up things that I thought were very clear and they weren't to the reader. So that was very helpful to me.
Yep.
She's not here. She is going through chemo, so God bless
Mm,
her. But she told me that editing the book really helped her because it distracted her from all the treatment and stuff she's going through. So she
that's
will
good.
get, yeah, she's going to get credit in the book as editor. She will get credit.
That's good.
And of course, it's obvious we're self-published, and that's because unless you're like Meghan Markle or Prince Harry, your books don't get published that easy.
Yes, it
You're
is.
famous.
It's not impossible. It's just
Hard,
difficult
very difficult.
to get noticed. And don't get me wrong, it's also difficult to get noticed as a self-published author also, but you have more control over that.
Yeah,
And
at least you get it published, and
mhm,
you have to do marketing yourself. And the big thing today, of course, is social media.
yes.
And depending on your genre, like for you, I bet you use Instagram more than Facebook.
I
For
actually use so many platforms right now. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter
Mhm.
and Pinterest.
Me too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm on Pinterest and Twitter and Instagram, Facebook, and um, that thought went right by. I was going to say something else that oh, Goodreads.
Yes, I'm on Goodreads also.
Yeah,
And there was one
Goodreads.
more, and I just Tumblr. Tumblr.
Yeah, but you
That one
see,
also.
this takes time because you want to write. You don't want to market. You want to
Mhm.
write, but you have to market if you're going to sell it, your book.
Yes.
And I found, like, even with Goodreads, the one day I said, "Oh, somebody friended me. So when someone's be your friend." So I always say yes because I figured they saw the book. And but then I start going in and tapping on their friends and sending requests for friendship to them.
Hmm.
Oh, you don't just wake up with this stuff, but sometimes it
Yeah.
comes to you. So there's a lot. And like in my head, there's a lot of marketing things I could do, but I just don't have time to.
Yes, it is very time consuming, especially
Yes.
with today's social media where reels and short videos are very, very popular and
Yeah.
a good way to get your book seen, yes, but it's very, very time consuming unless you've got to be doing it all the time, or
And
else
you
the
have children.
algorithms.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have small children. I have a husband with Parkinson's. So, and my own health problems. So it's extremely hard, but I'm really satisfied with the book sales I've had. They've been good.
Good.
And I'm hoping for the second one. Now, the third, talking about Amazon, um, are you doing your series on Amazon Bella? Do you know what
No,
that is?
yes. So I'm doing my books on Kindle Unlimited right now.
Okay,
Um,
that's where
and
I'm.
I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to stick with it. By the end of January is when that one's up. Because I do want to go wide and go through draft to digital and send it out to Barnes and Noble and Kobo and all the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
branches
yeah.
also.
Well, that sounds interesting. Well, I found that Bella thing, which was new. It's only a year, I think it's out. And you're able to go on there and write short stories or essays. And they
Hmm.
have to be 600 words, that's all. So that's not a lot. That would be like if I wrote a chapter in a book. So I've been doing that. And I was getting royalties. People were reading them. And it's a thing with Kindle Unlimited where they have to pay so many coins to read the story, but then you get the money
Hmm.
for it. I don't know how
Yeah.
it works. I don't have to know how it works. So I think I wrote 24 essays on different things like
Mhm.
audacity. And I think I have one instead of PTSD, it's like post divorce stress. Traumatic. But another's called chaos. Like, so
Yeah.
I'm going to take them off. You talked about how you're taking things off.
Yes.
So I have to give my readers 60 days notice. They told me when I'm going to take an episodic thing off.
Hmm.
So if they haven't read all of them, they have a chance to read them. Interesting.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm going to take that and format that into a book, and it's
Yes.
yeah, so that's a third book. Yeah,
The resources for self-publishing are very amazing.
it
It opens
is.
up a lot of opportunities.
And there's more and more and more. And so people ask me, like, well, how did you find a narrator? I said, well, I went on ACX.
Mhm.
How'd you find that? Through Amazon, helping their writers. There's a whole help page. Now, Carol has her book written, but she's having a big, difficult time with trying to work with Amazon Kindle and the whole features because everybody's not techie,
Yeah.
and she's my age and she's, she knows how to work a computer, but like even myself with the new book, it wasn't taking the cover photo I wanted.
Yeah.
I went to the help section to find why, and they told me they wanted it. Now, it took my other one, so I didn't think I'd have a problem with my first one.
Yeah.
But you have to go to help and you have to look and you have to teach yourself.
Yep.
You have to be teaching.
Especially when it comes to the paperback and hardcover
Yes.
books, it's very,
That's
very
what I'm
different trying to do
doing.
the book covers.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's because most of my readers want the book, the actual not the hardcover. I tell them, don't get the hardcover. It's so expensive. And my
Yes.
paperback has fairly large print. Now, I expected the older people to love that I had very
Yeah.
large print, but I actually have 30 somethings telling me, oh, when I opened the book, I was so happy that, because usually you get a book and it's all like condensed, and
Hmm.
yours is so easy to read.
That's good.
So, you don't know what's going to work until you try it,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
But so that's going along well. And again, the marketing part of it is brutal time wise.
From a bit of what I've researched on traditional publishing is apparently they have to do a lot of their own marketing also,
Sure.
which
Yeah.
it's kind of like to me, it's a con in a way because you've gone through already so much to get your book out there. You would think that it'd be more like a team effort,
Yeah.
I would think, but I
Well,
guess it's
everybody
not.
wants money too. Like when I was trying to do the traditional route, it was like, okay, we'll take it, but you got to pay this. Well, no, I'm not going to pay to
Mhm.
have it published.
Yeah.
That just no. If
Mhm.
it's good enough, it'll get out there. And right now, I have to laugh because I know somebody in Boston is reading it. I know somebody in Philly is reading it. I know somebody in Italy is reading it. I know
Yeah.
somebody in the Bahamas. So guess what? I guess I'm doing okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, here's another piece for people that are wanting to know how to do this stuff. Networking. Networking. I went on a cruise and I talked to everybody. Of course, you could tell. And I met this woman from the Bahamas. She's about 30. And she told me she wrote a book. Well, the minute she told me she wrote a book and she knew I wrote a book, forget about it. Our husbands disappeared because we were sharing all this stuff. I
Yeah.
hope to have her on. She's going to come on the podcast with us eventually. I had to get, here's this. I had to get WhatsApp.
Yeah.
I never wanted WhatsApp. I didn't see why you needed it. Well, to call or text her, I need WhatsApp because her number in the Bahamas won't go through on the phone free.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
You just have to keep. But I networked with her, and I think that was great because I told her things she didn't know, and she told me things I didn't know.
Hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for the day that I can go to some writers conventions and the writers cruises that they do and all. There's so much information and so
Yeah.
many connections that you can make.
Yeah.
It's a very big timing and having the finances to do
How
it.
about there's actually Facebook groups. Now they're not all good,
Yes.
but there's writers groups where they chat constantly. And I was in one that, it was interesting, but at the end of the month when the royalty checks came, there was all these people complaining, yeah, I got $2. And I'm thinking, well, if you got $2, you're not
Yeah.
marketing. Don't blame it on
Yeah.
Amazon. They were complaining about Amazon. Like they only gave me $2. Well, then you didn't sell much. So I went to another group that talks more about the process
Yeah.
and things like that. But the other one too, and this is information for whoever wants it, is I had my book translated into Italian and also into Hindi. and I went to BabbleQ. Now, do you know about that, BabbleQ?
I believe you've mentioned it, but
Okay. Well,
yeah,
for yourself, even if you go to
yes.
BabbleQ, you can find someone to translate your book, say, into Spanish, right?
Mhm.
Which is the reason why mine isn't there yet. And they agree to do it. That you come up with timelines when you would like it published or translated. And when it's translated, you just upload it to Amazon. They're connected, those two programs. And it's a 50-50 thing. If the book doesn't sell, nobody gets any money. So that behooves your translator to market.
Yeah.
Yes. So I sold 4 books in Italy. I should say she sold 4 books in Italy.
Mhm.
And the Hindi is because I researched what country has the least translated books from English, and it said India. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I went on BabbleQ and I put in Hindi because Hindi was the only language they had available, even though there's many, in India. And she translated it. Now I'm working with her to try to get her to market because they know how to translate, they don't know how to market. So,
Yeah.
that's teamwork.
Yes.
That's teamwork. So have you found any other websites that help with getting the book out there?
The biggest ones that I've researched do the most influences Facebook and Amazon ads
Yeah, and
is
that's
what
where
I've
we are.
seen.
Now,
Um,
every once in a while, I'll pay for a 2 or 3 day ad or something.
yeah.
It's not a lot. I don't think I've spent more in one ad more than $20. Like you can do
Yeah.
that, especially this time of year. You can do something like that. And Amazon also has things where you can do reduce sale, or you
Mhm.
tell them how long you want to do it.
Yes.
Have you done that yet? Anywhere else?
I've done ads on both of the platforms. To be honest with you, you won't see much on my social media right now,
Mhm.
because I'm in the middle of narrating a 4-book series for an author. I just finished
Oh,
the second
wow.
one this week.
Mhm.
And I've got 2 more books coming out for him. Um,
Now,
and
are you doing that through the ACX, or are you getting paid right up front?
it's through ACX. Well, you can
Okay.
get paid up front with ACX too on a per
If
finished
you
hour
ask
rate.
for it,
It's
yeah.
just, yeah, it just
Yeah.
depends on what you set up with the author.
Yeah.
But it's royalty share with him also.
Wonderful.
And I really like the books. They're very interesting. They're a fantasy, uh, urban fantasy type of setting, but
Mhm.
it's a lot of work to do the narrating
Oh, I
process.
know. I
And
know. You did
it's
my book.
the
I know.
yes. And then the unfortunate fact is if you get sick, which I did during her book,
Yeah.
if you get
No, I
sick and your
remember.
voice is gone, there is nothing you can do about it, because even if you sound normal in front of other people, you can pick it up on the microphone where the tone sounds
Yes.
completely different, and it just will not work for the book anymore.
I've had people say, "Oh, why didn't you narrate it? I would love to hear it in your voice." Because my voice, I have a voice as far as a voice in the world, but my vocal voice is not doing well. I have some problems.
Mm.
So I did try, and I narrated on YouTube one chapter, and then I heard it back, and no, it's like I'm whispering. It's terrible. And then after a while, it just totally cuts out. But
Well, that's a
no,
lot of the editing process, actually. People think that the narrating process is, oh, you open a book and you just read, and
no,
it's simple. If you see the ads where it says, if you can read, you can do this. No. When
no.
it comes to narrating and producing audiobooks, you spend about 90% of your time editing, uh, working on the lines that got messed up, marketing
Yes.
it, all
And
of it, just mastering it.
you and I as a team, when you sent me a sample, I realized right away, I'm from Pennsylvania, Northeast
Mm,
Pennsylvania, Scranton, Biden country. And you're where again?
from Utah.
Utah, that's what I
Yeah,
thought. And you do not realize the subtle differences in the way you pronounce certain words.
absolutely. I'm finding in that with this series also. There are
Yeah.
some where
So we
the
work
author will come
together,
back.
though,
Yeah.
I would say. Um,
Yeah.
Huh,
Sorry.
Tashina, you know that one word just said no. No, you can't say it that way. But especially with names too. So we did a
Yes.
couple interactions about that, you know.
Yes.
But I think it's wonderful the part about what's out there. It's just everybody has the same problems. There's only so much time in a day, you know, and
Hmm.
you have to be good at scheduling. And
Hmm.
I had crisis with the house. We didn't have use of our house for a while, and you know, health problems come in play. It's holidays. It's like, but you have to make a little bit of time for your work,
Yes.
even if it's a few minutes.
Yes.
One thing I saw, like I'm constantly looking for tips and what other people do. And one thing I saw was when you have a Facebook page for your book, post something every day. Okay. Now I was posting to, of course, my own book, Facebook, but
Hmm.
that made me think, and I thought, oh my God, I think there's days where I don't put anything. So now I go, even if it's to put an inspirational quote, something, because
Yeah.
that's how you develop your followers, you know.
Yes. That is something I definitely need to work on.
Yeah, well, there you go. And it's not that time consuming because on your own Facebook, you know, inspirational quotes will pop up, I'm sure. They're doing
Yeah.
mine. Yeah. And if I see one I like that kind of applies to, you know, rising above circumstances or whatever,
Hmm.
I share it to that page. And then, okay, I did that. How long did that take? 5 minutes? A minute?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I find when I'm sitting in the carpool to pick up my kids from school,
Hmm.
that is when I will look at my social media because sometimes
Hmm.
it gets so busy. Life gets
I
so
know.
busy.
I know. Now you
And
have a separate page for your book, right?
I'm
Or
sorry,
no?
what was that?
You have a separate page for your book on Facebook.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
not necessarily my book,
An
just
author.
for my writing.
Right.
I have my author Facebook page for people who are like more of connecting with other authors that I work with or
Uh-huh.
narrators or anything like that. But then I have
Okay.
my actual page for my writing for all my books all together
Yeah. Well, whatever
and my
one is,
narrating.
whatever one is the one that you're using for marketing, that's the one when you're sitting in
Yes.
the carpool that you
Yes.
go look up an inspirational quote and post it. Because that I thought, wow, that's easy. I can do that. And
Hmm.
you know, and I think that makes a difference because it'll tell me this week you had 255 views, you know,
Yeah.
and then they have the graph. I don't know if you ever use it, but then they show you like how your views were on your page, like last month to this month. And
Yes.
I noticed it went up a little bit when I start doing that.
I noticed that when I started posting the reels to my Facebook author
Mhm.
page, it gained my followers. Like it tripled my followers actually
What do you
within a
do
month.
in your reels? What do you do?
Um, just lines from my book mostly,
Okay.
like our settings or situations. I'll sum up the situations into 2 to 3 sentences, so then people will get a little bit of an idea of what the book's about or what they're getting into when they pick up the book.
Now I see reels, but they come up spontaneously. So if I
Yes.
wanted to see your reels, what would I have to type in?
Actually, it will show up as a regular video on my page, actually, if
Oh,
you were like
that's where I'll
on a
find it.
laptop or
Okay, so
something. Yep.
it's so those people that have them where they just pop up on your page, they're not paying to have them pop up. Are they popping up because they're popular or
Exactly. So if you create content that a lot of people usually watch, it's part of the algorithm that
mhm,
it'll get seen more. The more that people see it and engage in it, watch it completely, the more it gets
mhm,
seen.
yeah. And then once it starts getting seen, I guess the algorithm then sends it to the public, like everybody gets it.
Yeah,
That's
then
what I mean.
it'll pop up into more
Yeah,
people. It's like a for you type of thing.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I don't know if you use your phone or if you use a computer when you're on
Oh,
Facebook.
both.
Both. So if you're on your phone, they have a section of it where it says reels. And if you go into the reels, you would just do a swipe on your phone, and it would,
Oh,
and
okay.
those videos that pop up are the ones that the algorithm in your device would decide that's for you. Because if you're
Okay.
watching a video fully, that's where it picks up on what you're interested in.
So if I'm watching a lot of reels that have dancing in them,
Yes.
that's because I get a lot of those. So because I watch them, then they're going to start sending me anybody that's dancing. Not
Yes.
anybody, but that. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
exactly.
So
Or
the
even the
trick.
music,
Oh,
that's in
yeah,
it.
yeah,
If
yeah.
there's a
Yeah.
certain song that plays more on the ones you're watching, any videos with that song in it will
You know
more likely
what?
show up on your feed.
That's a good tip because what I might do is, find songs because I have found songs that can apply to certain parts of the world.
Yes.
I am
The
a
bigger
warrior, different ones
the
like
bigger
that.
problem that I find with it is that you have to be very careful about which songs you use, because you do need to make sure you use
Patent,
commercial
yeah.
use. You
It's
can't just
only
use
any cup, even if it's like 2 minutes or 30
no,
seconds.
yeah, not at all. Like, especially on I believe TikTok and Instagram, if there's any song being used that's not approved for commercial use,
Mm.
then they will take it off of your video,
So how do
or
you
they'll
find?
report the video.
Yeah.
On each platform has it differently. I find it most difficult on YouTube Shorts. Oh, that's another one I'm on. YouTube Shorts and Facebook Reels and Instagram are all a little bit more difficult to find the commercial use. So I will search royalty-free sounds or
Okay.
royalty-free music when
There
I go
you
to
go.
add
There
it.
you go. So you just
Now,
taught me a lot right there because I thought I have to do something, elaborate to do a reel. No, I don't. I could have music playing in the background, like you said,
exactly.
and just talk about something in one of my chapters or
Hmm.
that kind of thing. Wow. And then you said about how to find the music.
Yes.
Okay, so tell me again what it's called, the music non-published,
Royalty
royalty
free.
free.
Yes.
Okay, royalty free. Okay. See, this is why this is good because we think we're doing great, but everybody can learn something from somebody. Do you know
Yes.
what I mean? Like, um, I really was surprised a couple times where my Bella check was larger than the book because some
Right.
people like reading little things,
Yes.
just reading. And then I didn't write one for a couple months. And then when I wrote one again, I didn't get the response because when they went to look, it wasn't there. So I went back to it and then it came back again. Like if you have a fan base, even if it's only 20 people, do you know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
You have to
I
feed that fire.
I was actually I became interested in it after talking to you. I don't want to do my bigger series on it because they're larger books.
Mhm.
But I was thinking about doing some themed stories centered around the time of the year. So per se, let's say around Halloween time, I would
Mhm.
do a few shorter stories
Mhm.
around Halloween time and just release them on Vela.
Yes, that's what you
So that's
need to
kind of
do.
something I'm looking for through this new year. I've got a lot of New Year's resolutions coming up.
I don't make resolutions anymore because I never keep them, so I don't bother. And
I
they
like to
said
try to think I will.
the average person keeps the resolution, I think they said for 21 days. So,
Oh goodness.
yeah. So it's okay. And it takes 28 days to make something a habit.
Yeah.
So if you can't do it for 28 days, nothing's going to change. All right, we're almost out of time, believe it or not. We have about 5 minutes. Anything else you wanted to talk about with this whole? Because we're really talking too. It's interesting. We have two totally different genres with the fiction and the fantasy,
Hmm.
nonfiction and fantasy, but yet marketing is the same, I think.
Yes. Yes.
And the other thing that's really standing out to me too is the hashtag thing. Like, I
Yes.
really didn't get that at first, you
Yeah.
know.
That's a hard concept to
Mhm.
grasp onto, but it definitely helps.
Yes, it does. And the one last thing, maybe you know the answer to this. Um, Once I reached 40 reviews, they stopped posting my reviews, which I don't understand. And
Really?
yeah, and I message them and ask them, and they, I don't know if it's a robot or what, but they answered like as if, I don't know, they give me a stupid answer. So I just gonna have to keep trying to find out. You don't have that happen, right?
Um, no. Well, when I first released my Heart of the Moon series, those ones, when they would go up in reviews, it didn't really stop
Yeah, I don't know
at
why.
all.
And I know people that bought the book after that and told me they left a review and they're not there. So they
Hmm.
answered me as if I was the person that left the review. And they said, something replied to that. That's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you where they are. Where's my
Now,
reviews?
are the ones that are saying they're leaving reviews, are they just rating it or are they reviewing it? Like
No, they're
leaving a
reviewing
text
it.
review?
No, they're leaving reviews. They're
Hmm.
leaving. So I got to
Interesting.
explore that because it's annoying and it's not right because when people are,
The only thing I could think of is if by chance they're linked to you in any way by like a family member or anything like that on your Facebook. Um,
well, no, they'd be linked to me maybe as a friend on Facebook, but I don't think,
maybe
yeah.
the Amazon would pick up on that. I'm not sure if it with it
But if
being a
they do,
friend,
that's
but
kind of not fair because if
no,
you're,
I don't think so. I think anybody who reads a book should be able to review it,
yeah, me
family or
too.
not.
Yeah, I agree. So I hope you have a great holiday. Mine is going to be okay now because I got my house back together and I
Thank
have
goodness.
a grandson and a daughter coming, so that'll make up for it. And then in January, my great grandson is coming, who's like a star. He's a little star.
Oh,
You're on my Facebook page. We're Facebook
yes.
friends. Have you seen
Yes.
the pictures of him lately?
Absolutely cute. Yes.
They took his picture on the Santa train, didn't ask permission or anything, and they put it in the Northeast Pennsylvania. What's going on in PA? There's a picture of him with Santa. I said, "Did they ask you?" She said, "No."
Oh,
Said they should have paid you.
he is so cute.
He loves the camera, and you could tell he loves the camera. He's always posing.
Oh goodness, for now
Well,
until
you have two
teenagerism
little
comes.
ones. Yeah. All
Yes,
right. Have
all
a
my kids
great.
are like that.
But we're gonna after the holidays, we'll plan on doing another topic, and maybe be talking about our new books,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
hopefully we'll have Carol with us. Okay.
Oh, that would be good. I hope that she gets
Yeah.
feeling better and
She's.
everything goes smoothly for her.
Yeah. I'm gonna call her right after we stop. All right. Thanks again. We'll see
All
you
right,
soon. Have a
thanks
great
so much.
one.
Happy holidays.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Yes, step free.